Welcome back, everybody. In this video we're going to be taking a Mastercraft Prostar 190 that's got these nasty little scratches. We're going to be sanding them out as well as winterizing and changing the oil on and buffing it to absolute perfection so it is slicker than snot, just like this. Make sure to stay tuned and subscribe and like. And we're going to continue on the voiceover because I didn't have my mic plugged in for the whole beginning section of the video. But here's the boat. It is a Prostar 190 that has this really nice flake on it. I've got David with me helping me. These are those little scratches from dragging skis up into the boat. So they're all over the top cap. So we're going to be taking care of all that, as well as doing the oil and stuff. Let's see where this next clip takes us. Oh, here's the side of the boat, actually rear corner. Those are those scratches that you can see that we're going to be getting rid of. And up here is the motor. It's an Elmore 5.7. And this is just getting a typical oil. Look at David. David looks happy. And we're going to be winterizing it afterwards. So here's a nice little time lapse of David getting set up. I'm teaching him.
My mic wasn't on.
You guys.
Okay.
Hey, the mic's
I'll
back.
voice over that.
Okay,
you can hear it. We're sucking oil out. Here's your new filter.
Yep.
Wicks, because we like wicks. Here's your filter wrench. It should be hand tight. So I'm going to get you a little bottle. Any of the oil is going to come out this drain hole that's on the side.
Hold the bottle up.
So hold the bottle. Here you go. Crack that baby. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Look at this technique. Oh yeah, let her drain. Yeah. Is there actually something going in the bottle?
No oil's popping out.
That's why they put those there.
There's the oil. Right there.
Look at this, David's first oil change. Actually, this is definitely not your first oil change.
On an Inmore it is.
On an Elmore. Elmore, get it right, Spanky. Look at that, baby. Beauty. All right. Can you handle this while I get set up to buff? Alrighty, so this is going to be a little different video than we normally do. Normally I'm doing heavily oxidized boats. This one's obviously not so bad. We're still going to polish the whole outside, and there's a couple deeper scratches we're going to try and get rid of. But we're also going to be hitting this with the Hyperhold Pro, which is another product from Stark. It is the superior wax, and it's not Carnauba wax, it's a polymer sealant, so it's much better. But here's another example of these scratches. Hopefully you guys can see that we're going to be getting rid of. So let's do a little tester. Let's hit this area and we'll see how heavy of compound we have to use. Black is the most difficult color gel coat to get scratches out of. If you're just doing oxidation, obviously you're not going to have scratches, but if you're going to be doing any sanding, it's going to be way more difficult. So I'm going to hit this first with the Blaze, and we're going to see how it looks and then go from there. All right, David's in there draining out the block and manifolds. We're going to start with some Blaze because this is some heavier scratching. We're just going to take a look and see how it comes out. The sides are honestly almost perfect. It's really just the top and flat spots are easy to buff. Oh geez, David's losing sockets. With the Blaze, you're going to start at a lower RPM, like 1,000. And we're going to put some heavy pressure on it. And then at the end, we're going to turn it up. Yeah, so these scratches are actually pretty deep. So we're going to end up sanding these guys. All right, so moved you back a little bit so you can see me. These scratches are remaining. They're kind of deep. I'm actually going to take a picture for the before. I'm going to hit it with 1,000 grit by hand. Normally I have the half moon thing, but today I do not. As you start sanding, it's going to get real scary, but do not worry. You don't really have to use any guide coat on black gel coat because as the powder turns white, it'll work as its own guide coat. But you kind of just got to wipe it and take a look at these scratches and keep sanding until they're gone. So we'll just take this section by section. And really the scratches are only on the top, the sides are okay. There are a couple small ones that we'll take care of, but for now we're just worrying about the top. David is filling her up with oil. He needs a funnel that I did not provide to him yet. Where is the funnel? Now keep in mind, you can start with a lower grit. You could start with a 600, you could start with 320, you could start with 800. It'll take a little longer with 1,000, but to me, if I only put 1,000 grit scratches in, it's gonna be that much easier to buff out. Because if I miss like a 320 scratch, I'm gonna have to do the whole process over again. And this is the last job of the day, so I'm not in a crazy big rush. But some of these guys are actually pretty deep. If we were starting with like a 320 or a 600, that's when I would use the block to sand this. But this does have a little lip here, so it's not perfectly flat across, although it looks like it is. There's this little like drip edge on it. So if I did it flat, I'd sand through this corner. Well, let's hit her with some compound, see where we're at. We will hit this with the lighter grit, but for now we're just doing the heavies. How's she looking? You got oil in there? Not yet, he says. All right, so we just kind of showed you guys. I'll put that picture up. Obviously, we still have some of the deep scratches on here, but right now it's kind of the raw polished surface. The polish does leave a coating on it that will protect it, but we're still gonna hit it with the Hyperhold Pro. So he's got the block drained out. He did the oil change. The oil's full. That is something that I did teach him. Never leave a boat with no oil in it, because you never know when you're gonna get back to it. That's a big no-no. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up. There's only a couple areas on the top cap that are bad. So I'm gonna do those, and then I'll go over everything again. And then we're gonna do the hull sides. And there's a couple scratches in the hull sides that I'm gonna get rid of. And then once we finish all that, we'll pull the boat out, winterize it, and it's getting picked up in the morning. Our day got so screwed because the trailer that we were picking up to pull out the big boat had a flat tire. I gotta piss so bad. All right, enjoy the time lapses. So here's a good opportunity to learn ya. If you look right in there, we got a nasty little scratch here. It almost goes up into the flake. It does a little bit, but it follows this down into the black. Can feel it with the fingernail. So this one, we're gonna start with the 600 grit. We'll take a before picture and then take a before picture. And now, this is that half moon I was talking about. It's just a little Velcro block. This does have a curve on it, but we're gonna work it upwards and kind of around like that. So we don't get a flat spot. I'm gonna have to turn the heat down in here because I am sweating. But I figured this would be more fun than watching a time lapse, don't you think? You do? Okay, me too. Now you can watch the time lapse. I'm gonna do 600, 800, 1,000, and then buff with the heavy, and then buff with the polish. Woo! That heater is working. So I just finished up. I didn't show you guys this, but there was a scratch on the inside of the walkway. I'll put a picture up. But I actually did that scratch. I was fixing the center spotter flip-up seat, and when I was taking the bracket out, I kind of scratched her with it. So I fixed that one. We got the exterior scratches fixed. So obviously down here we had a bunch of damage. And then on the top cap, there were a bunch of scratches and stuff that we took care of, as well as in the back with the skis hitting it. And then over on this side, We had a pretty gnarly scratch in the red here. That actually wasn't too bad, but we had a good scratch there. So all of those are fixed. There's no more big ass scratch in the center walkway there. And as for the engine, David got it all prepped for winterization. We're gonna be doing this tomorrow morning because I don't really feel like opening the door, pulling this out, and then pulling it back in and letting all my heat out. So tomorrow morning, we're gonna come in. This is gonna get winterized, and then we will wax the boat, and then it is gonna get picked up by my friend. Obviously it's a little dirty, but once we hit all this with the wax, it's gonna be really nice and slick. So this is where I'm gonna leave you guys. Obviously, haven't been posting as much. I have no clue what order these videos are gonna come out in, but I have had so many videos that I started recording, where I started recording and then either something happened, I couldn't finish the video. It had like an extra part, like this V drive back over here. I have a video on that, but I can't finish it because we can't repair it right now because the cast needs to be welded. Oh, the past few weeks have been have been the busiest weeks of my life. This week is no exception. We got shrink wraps tomorrow and a bunch of services. I have a boat outside that's getting full service and shrink wrap, and then that's getting delivered to storage. And as for that giant boat, I had David today, and unfortunately he had a flat tire and I didn't have anything to change it or a jack. So I need to go back, and that one I'm gonna have to go for a hike. The house isn't that far from the launch, but the issue is there's water in the middle, so I have to walk all the way around, so that's gonna be a nightmare. And it's a gigantic boat on a roller trailer. So you guys should stay tuned for that. But for this video, this is where I'm gonna end it. Hopefully it's not too short, but yeah, I'm just trying to get caught up with all the videos and keep going with all of the services that we have. We'll see you guys in the next one.